understand? That's why sometimes when people start posting on social media saying, oh, all these Nigerian businesses that will be charging in pounds and dollars, I wonder if it's not the same country that we are. I'll just always look at them and be like, maybe you should start a business first before you open your mouth and talk. Yeah. Because by the time you pay $1,500 for fabric will be said before if you buy like $300K, which is like $300. Right. Now you're paying $1,500. Knowing what in naira they talk.
Yes.
So you can't expect me make I not charge for dollars. How? China naira I won't charge you. Do you understand? That's why sometimes
I'm gonna be charging in dollars. So allowing businesses to charge foreign currencies within Nigeria has its pros and cons, such as the potential for increased competition, foreign investment, and ease of purchasing foreign goods and services. It could also increase the potential for higher prices, right, for Nigerian consumers, decrease the value of the Nigerian naira, and increase the difficulty for Nigerian businesses to compete domestically. Now, the question of whether businesses should be allowed to charge foreign currencies within Nigeria needs to be made on a case-by-case basis, considering all the potential factors. So today we're asking, should we normalize, businesses charging foreign currencies within Nigeria? Please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join this conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-8038-4663. Mary Oma Williams. I must call your full name. Why are you charging people goods and services in foreign currency?
In dollars, yeah. However, we accept naira. We haven't said that we don't accept naira. I think the clause, I was going to read out something, a statement from a Templars lawyer that was put out there concerning the clause. It's not that we do not accept naira. We just retail our prices in dollars. However, based on the conversion rates, we convert for you and we take your naira.
Based on the current rate?
Yes.
So do you use the black market rate or use the CBN rate?
We use inflow rates because that is how we're able to pay our suppliers. So that's the rates that we use. Whatever the inflow rate is, our management advises, and then we go ahead and use that. So, I mean, that also shields us from inflation in terms of if you know something is priced at $100, if you come next tomorrow, it's still going to be $100. We're not increasing prices based on...
so it's just the naira, your currency value that will determine how much it will be.
Yes.
But should that be? Let me come to you, Diola.
Well,
should we have businesses? Because this is not unique to just, I'm just teasing Mary. But the truth is, I know some properties in Ikoyi, some properties within Eco Atlantic, some property sellers now, it's not even Eco anywhere, the ones in Ekpe. A lot of, because most of the people that are selling properties now, they sell more to diasporans.
Yeah.
So a lot of these property people, most of them are collecting hard currency.
Of course.
And, and they would state the same clear fact that it is not our problem is the dancing dollar. Today is here, tomorrow is there. So we have a fixed price. So whatever the dollar comes to meet you at, it is your price. But this is the fixed rate. If we say we're selling this property for $10,000, it is $10,000. So if your dollar today is 10,000 naira, fine. If it is 1 million naira tomorrow, fine. But this is our fixed rate. But do you think that should be?
Okay, so sorry to cut you. I have an issue with that. Now, I get that certain goods and services, especially if you're dealing with imports, you're bringing things because of how you're buying, you're spending FX. Do you understand? But if you're doing local services in terms of you want to sell a house. Did you import the house from diaspora?
But so...
As long as you're using local resources.
No, because those houses, the finishing, the things that they are buying to finish the house, like the doors, you hear them say, oh, this was Turkey door, Italian door.
Did they bring them from?
Yes, usually
they
ship them in. No, a lot of all these property developers, right? They ship their things in containers. I'm not holding brief for them, but I'm trying to explain to you that. So I know property developers now, for instance, right? A lot of them, because of, in terms of cost, right? they would rather have, because if they are building like 1,000 units of houses or 100 units of houses, you don't expect them to buy those from a local, because most of these local people too also import. So what they also do is just import directly, you understand, and bring them in so that all their raw materials comes at a controlled cost. The only thing I will say to you is that, you know, if they have already shipped in all the materials that is needed and the house is complete, inflation shouldn't really affect that house because it was not built again. You know, it was not built. But they would, but like I said, they would tell you that, see, let's just not argue too much. I built this house with $1,000. Just pay me $1,000. So whatever the rate of $1,000 at the time you're buying is really not their business.
But you see, what happens is it's almost like an artificial way of increasing price.
Yeah.
It is. And that's why we're seeing an escalating amount of, I mean, in terms of properties. It doesn't make sense. The value in correlation with the prices, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Again, they're trying to protect themselves. They're shoring up against inflation and all that. But inflation, the more you do that, the higher inflation will be. That's the honest truth. So if you're not, I get, and this is me not trying to even hold brief for certain kind of businesses, but if you're into a luxury line, so to say, it's not for everybody. Do you understand? It's for a very select few. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes, you may be able to do that. But if you're in the space where you're trying to, you know, target a lot of people, you know, average people, not necessarily the 1%, I'm not sure that that's the right way to go about it.
So they will also tell you that some of these things, like for instance, the video that we took, which is our anchor story, I think her name is Vicky James, right?
Vicky James.
And I've heard that, you know, her designs are quite beautiful and they are actually luxury. So she's not actually I mean, what Mary sells is premium luxury.
Of course.
It is a niche market.
Franchise.
You understand?
Exactly.
Yes, you're a franchise of this brand in Nigeria. It's not like you are going to go and buy from the store to sell.
Exactly.
So it is expected that the same standard you see in the stores globally is the same standard you will meet here. Right? Same thing with, I mean, the Vicky James. Her brand is luxury, pure luxury. I've seen her designs; they are like breathtaking. You know, one day they thought, may we be able to afford one piece? You know, she's the kind of designer that you would aspire to have a piece of, you know, a Vicky James in your closet because her brand is quite luxury. And I mean, listen to her argument. I'm a business person too myself, right? I bought some equipment. You know, I shipped in some equipment. I'm supposed to ship in more. The way the prices, you understand, just skyrocketed on me. I've not been able to do that second installment, you know, in terms of bringing in all the equipment that I need. Because now, what I paid in February, March, when I did the first purchase, what we're paying now is almost 3 times the cost. So when I'm now talking to someone, right, I don't even know what to charge the person. Because you're not even getting the point. Because even if I charge the Naira, it's going to be very difficult for me to be able to make any meaningful, because if you look at the competition around, right, it is going to be difficult to do any transaction. So to the point of whether it is okay for us to start to normalize foreign currencies in Nigeria, I would say it's not okay. I would say it's not okay, right? Literally, you can't go anywhere. I mean, it's only places maybe like Dubai, but even at that, you better go and change your money. Because trust me, when you take that dollar to the stores, the rate you're going to be getting, you would run at a loss. So they do all of those things to discourage people from spending those foreign currencies within their economy. They'd rather you go to an exchange, bureau de change, and get their own local currency and go pay for whatever it is you want to pay. I don't know, but I'm saying that yes, I get the fact that there are specialized products, but if we really want to improve this economy, I think we should really rethink. Yeah, we have to. But you see, where my problem really lies with all of this conversation is the fact that we are still unable to manufacture certain things within the economy. So for instance, why would she need to import fabric We are a home of cotton. Like literally, there's nothing that is linked to fabric that we cannot manufacture here.
Absolutely.
So the fact that she's not able to source premium fabric, that she needs to source it from another country, is the big problem that we should focus on.
Yeah.
You understand? Because these are all symptoms of a bigger problem, that our manufacturing industry is comatose.
Yeah.
You understand? Because we don't really have anything. If you want to do raw material stuff, for instance, you say, I want to go into making beautiful like ready to wear apparel, like your normal ready to wear. Like you want to, let's pick a brand, for instance, say maybe you want to start producing lines for like the way H&M or Zara or Next or whatever can produce, or Mango. You really can't produce anything here because we don't have the support structure in terms of the fabrics and all of that. So all of these things are tied to FX.
Absolutely.
Do you understand? And until we are ready to really, it's two things that would happen. We know they do luxury again. Mary doesn't want to hear that. And let us push for grow Nigeria. You understand? Build locally, grow Nigeria. Build locally, grow Nigeria. So no matter what it is, let's keep pushing for like buy Nigeria, buy Nigeria, buy Nigeria. And at whatever it's level of quality it comes, let us be taking it like that. It's either we do that, or we'll continue to face these conversations around, people spending. Because trust me, if I go and I bought this ring for $2,000, you understand, and I said, okay, my markup will be 50%. I do it for at $3,000. That's 50%, right? Whenever I want to sell it, it is $3,000. If your naira is dancing, maybe when I bought it, it was 200 naira to $1, and now it is like 50,000 naira to $1. That's not my business.
Yeah.
My business is that I bought it and I have to make profit, because guess what? This person needs to replace this product.
Yeah.
If I sell this, I need to be able to buy it again.
Yeah.
And don't forget that where I'm going to go and buy it, it is still the same $2,000 that it will come to. So that's the dynamics of business that is just a bit,
I'm just very surprised that we don't take manufacture seriously in this country, because countries like Vietnam, like China, they don't even have the human capacity and resource that we have in Nigeria. Imagine, we have people alone, and then you have industry, you have assembly lines, and then electric. See, once we are able to solve energy problem in this country, everything will work.
They've been trying to solve energy.
No, that's it. So long
Since I was
as
a child.
we don't solve that, let's not talk about manufacturing. It's simple, because manufacturing is
directly tied.
Directly.
You know what? Let's take a break. When we come back from that break, we'd love to open our phone lines, then hear your thoughts on this topic. Should we normalize using dollar in Nigeria? Stay with us. All right, so if you just tuned in, it's our Ladies Night Out, and we're discussing normalizing. We're asking, should we normalize businesses charging in foreign currencies within Nigeria? Please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-4663. Our phone line is now open. The number to call is 07025007749. Remember to turn off the volume of whatever device it is that you're watching us from. Again, 07025007749. Okay, Mary, you wanted to read something out for us.
Okay, so this is from the author, a law partner at Templars, and I'll just go from here, which says, a common feature of all the above circulars and statements of the CBN on this subject has been to make heavy weather of the fact of the Naira being legal tender in Nigeria, and effectively conclude that local transactions expressed or conducted in a currency other than the legal tender for that reason is illegal. That thinking unfortunately completely misunderstands, or at least misapplies, the concept of legal tender and its implications on the freedom of contracting parties to elect their preferred medium of exchange. As a matter of law, legal tender simply and squarely means such money as cannot legally be rejected locally in settlement of debts expressed in local currency. in relation to debts expressed in foreign currency but payable locally. The harshest impact that the concept of legal tender could have is that the debtor may have a general right of conversion to local currency. In other words, the debtor may either pay in the stated foreign currency if he chooses, or he may exercise his right of conversion and pay in the local currency equivalent. Although the CBN has never fully explained on the legal basis for the steps it has taken to date on this subject, it is very likely that it has relied on a certain provision of the CBN Act that appears to give the CBN the power to prescribe when foreign currencies may be used in Nigeria. This provision is to be found in proviso to the penalty for the breach of the legal tender rule by Section 25 of the Act. It is provided that a person who refuses to accept the naira as a means of payment is guilty of an offense and liable on conviction to a fine.
So that is the definition of the legal tender, meaning say if somebody came to Nigeria and they gave you naira and you refuse to collect naira.
Yeah. So if that's that's why I stated if you come to the store, we can't tell you that because we retail in dollars we can't accept naira. That's when we would have to be penalized. Yes, it's when you can't accept.
So but let me explain something to you. I know a lot of businesses, right? They will tell you outright
that they don't accept.
You cannot pay me in naira.
Then that is wrong. Then they should be penalized for that.
So that's the point. But you know, they say that.
No, you say you're coming
for every conversation, they come for your jugular. For every conversation, right?
Yeah.
The reason I need us to see the root cause of some of these things.
Yeah.
Remember that when they had the presidential primaries in this same country, what was shared as what's it called? Delegate excursion fee. It was in FX. There used to be a time, and people will tell you that the reason that they go with FX is because of it is less bulky.
Yeah.
So I can literally give you $10,000, convert that to
that's
$10
$10
million, and it's just one packet inside your hand. So the reason a lot of these transactions are happening in FX is because it's easier to move funds, right? So if you really want to solve the problem of these dollar transactions, you have to go back again to politicians. Because a lot of these people, are the ones that infiltrate the system with a lot of, foreign currencies. Because it is easier to move those $100 bills, right? Imagine if I was going to be sharing 100K, it's going to be bulky. To say you want to share to 10 million people, it's going to be bulky. So I'd rather just have, the few notes within a foreign currency. That's one. When you go to the clubs, a lot of all of these clubs right now, right, most of the transactions that happen, they are happening with foreign currencies, right? So I get the fact that the legal tender explanation or maybe definition should be that there is nowhere anybody should present to you naira that you should reject it. At the same time, there is a stench. I mean, the quote we took today clearly states it. That is illegal it is illegal for you to transact business within Nigeria using foreign currency. Because like your day-to-day business is a different thing if you just came into this country and probably the only currency you have the banks. You can go to the bureau de change, you can change the money there. Those are the people that are literally authorized, right, to be able to transact, so that whatever it is that you are able to, they are now able to give you a legal tender that you can then use to do transactions within the country. But the fact that we keep on getting to this point where it is now, you are now doing day to day, I want to buy this earring from dollar and I'm paying in dollar, our naira will continue to suffer. Our naira will continue to be devalued. Our naira will never ever. You understand?
Oh, it's already hurting businesses by the time you are now converting to pay from your suppliers, which is what the Vicky James lady said. Is going to hurt a lot of businesses
if they take naira.
Well, yes. So if you continue to transact in naira, you continue to increase the price. It seems outrageous when you call the naira value. You now go to the bank. There was a period where even businesses couldn't access their money. So even to pay your supplier is is a hassle. So how do we resolve all
You
of
know,
that?
like you always say that it's a multi-hydra.
Hydra-headed
Really,
monster.
because I mean, this point she made. In fact, I had a friend. He's like the financial controller of an organization. I remember a period of like 2 weeks. He was literally mad in this Lagos looking for FX because they actually run an FMCG. That means they constantly need to keep paying for, so
Raw
raw
material.
material. If you call him, he's shouting, screaming, looking.
Look at what even happened to the airlines. You're even going too far.
Exactly.
The airlines in Nigeria shut down because, again,
You can't access their money from CBN.
I don't even know how to explain this.
So yes, now you see why businesses would say that. So you know what? Rather than deal with all that, rather than deal with CBN, rather than deal with all that, rather than even go to the black market looking for dollar, let me get my own dollar so that I can keep stocking and I can keep my business afloat. There is that rationale as well. So I mean, it's just in the largest sense of it.
Well, so my point is, if we really want to solve this problem, what are we willing to sacrifice as a people?
The same
Because
for
really,
the
the reason, and they try to explain something to now,
No, we get you.
the reason we need these FX is because most of the things that we are buying with FX, it's not a way to go and buy with FX.
Yes.
Most of the things that we're buying with FX are highly, luxury items. Go and check it.
Raw
Do you understand? So the raw material one is just, like I said, even with the seedlings for but I'm saying the majority. So you want to ship in drinks, all these assorted drinks. I mean, I'm doing for clients, and you want to get the assorted chocolates and cookies and all of those things. Those things are expensive, but it is because, so I'm saying that how can we turn this around? I remember the time President shut down the borders to insist on us eating local rice and all of that. That didn't work. I bought rice today, 85,000 naira per bag. It's an imported rice from the UK or something. 85,000 naira per bag. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because again, now, even with the local rice, the fear that people are having is that a lot of this rice have been mixed. So you are not even sure of what it is that you're buying. So for safety, it's best to just go and buy the expensive one. But look at it now. At what expense? So I don't even know the solution to the problem.
I think the government. Just recently, there was.
No, if you leave me, it's ofada rice I eat. But this one, I'm cooking it for a large population. It's not for me. If you go to my house, the only rice you will find is ofada rice. That's all I eat. I actually love the rice because it's healthier for me.
Then you promote ofada rice to the people.
She's coming for your job.
No, but it's the same thing. If you do something, if you stand by something, it's like a mini influencing. You stand by something that this is what you do, and you're inviting people also, and it's also an opportunity for them to try. Maybe there might be some people among the crowd that never tasted ofada rice. And that's the option that is available. They can either choose to eat it or not eat it. And they eat it and they realize, you know what, this thing is not bad. They too decide, okay, you know what, I want to be buying ofada rice. You've converted one more person.
And you've shut up the naira.
No, don't talk finish.
Okay, I was also going to say, going back to what you said about politicians, having that rationale that it's just easier to move money. I also think that it's for some of them, or quite a whole lot of them, maybe not necessarily politicians, but there are a group of people who use Forex just because they don't want paper trails. There is that. So if government is going to address all of this thing, they need to, I don't know, sometimes, when we have conversations like this, it's always almost as if the so-called experts that should know these things don't know. Because I imagine that if they're having conversations that they're looking at it from multiple angles, then they may be able to come up with robust solutions. But rather they just focus, dollarization, no to dollarization. So no to dollarization. All right, but what about all these issues?
Yeah.
What happens? What are the solutions?
Because I think what Mary is trying to say, she wants to leave the price at $100,000. I mean $100. What she's refusing to say is that it is the stress, which is she kind of like mentioned, alluded to. It's the stress of changing your prices every day.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Why do I need to be changing prices every day, checking FX rate and changing? So today, maybe you came yesterday to price this item, it was 100,000 naira. You are coming today is 150. Tomorrow you are coming is 120, 130. You know,
And
it's
that's
just
not even
dancing
good for
like
any
that.
business.
And
yeah.
I think there's also a psychology towards because of the value for the products.
The number of zeros.
Yes, for products that we sell, there's a psychology actually behind it. We opened a new store that is priced in naira, and they usually retail in naira. And trust me, the same thing I would buy in my own department that is retailed in dollars. I saw it in naira and I said, "Geez." Exactly. Why would I pay this much? Something K for a phone case? And I said, oh wait,
That's the same amount I paid.
yeah, just it's different in dollars. When you just say it's 200, it's two notes.
just
and
two
it
notes.
gives you,
And
you
that
know,
one is
so,
how many?
or if I should call a $60,000 watch for you in naira, and even if you have the money, you will rethink it to
Very
say,
true. The psychology
"Is
of buying.
this money, is it?" So those are also factors. I mean, I can only speak for the luxury industry, and well, yeah,
So you don't see the luxury industry changing to.
oh no,
It's not gonna happen.
No, unless maybe they achieve a permanent, you understand? But as long as FX keeps, it's of no benefit to them. In fact, businesses around that kind of sector will just collapse. They can't sustain it. They can't. Because how would they even get FX to pay their suppliers? So on one hand, there is also if you want to pay in dollars, that saves me the stress of looking for dollars, right? Because it means that I would be able to ensure continuity of this product in my store. But if I can't find FX, I can't pay my supplier. My business is gone.
And you know the sad part is that the problem with some of these things is that whilst you are there, you've collected. So let's say for instance, you sold an item and you converted it at 1,000 naira per dollar. You have to use speed to go and quickly change that money, because anything happens and that money
can drop.
If it dips, that you have sold that item at a loss.
Yes, you've lost.
I get you. Let's take comments.
Okay, so this is good evening, my dear beautiful sisters. What are you saying? #ways. Should we normalize businesses charging foreign currencies within Nigeria? I really don't think so. I don't know what you beautiful ladies think, but to me, I don't agree. Why don't we stick to our own currency alone? Like my dear beautiful sister Ua said, after making reference to the period of the presidential election, it was foreign currency that was shared. People prefer to do business with foreign currency simply because it is not bulky and easy to carry about. Whether Naira is bulky or not, let us stick to Naira. My name is Daniel Ila. Where is regular fare?
She's well. So what is our final thoughts on this?
Laws are not cast in stone. Laws are for people, and laws should evolve. Policies should evolve to ensure the safety of businesses, of individuals, but at the same time to ensure a level playing field for everyone.
You know, this thing actually affected direct investment, foreign direct
of course
investment.
now.
That's why you
Of
see
course.
the brands like Virgin, what's his name, Richard Branson pulled out quickly because it is all this dwindling. So I think the problem, if you ask me, I'll say, why don't we solve the economic, the economic instability? Because you see, if the system is stable, I can sell in naira.
yeah.
Do you understand?
$1 was to 1 to 1.
Yes, I can sell in
I
naira.
don't think anybody was talking
But
about.
you can't solve economic issues if you are a consumption nation. You can't. You would always be at the mercy of.
That's what I'm saying. So we need
other
to now move.
yes.
So that's the final thing I was driving to.
We must
move, but the
manufacture,
only
we
way
must
we can move to that consumption. How did Peter we used to say it? Production to consumption, be consumption to production.
Consumption.
Do you understand?
Production.
For us to be able to move to that production country,
Yeah.
right? We first of all we must truly turn a blind eye to some of these things that are, you know, are luxury. If we solve basic problem in terms of manufacturing and all of that, and we're able to start to really, really be intentional about growing the economy, it will grow. So it means that we must lose taste. Our taste bud must completely be lost from some of these things. You understand? Then we must be intentional about the quality of what we are manufacturing in Nigeria. I think so.
I agree.
Okay, we have one more comment.
Go ahead, please.
It says, no, it's not okay to normalize dollars as legal tender in Nigeria. But unfortunately, the Nigerian economy not stable and normal. Hence, the dollar kind of normalized as legal tender unofficially, especially by the very group of people meant to uphold the naira as a legal tender and ensure the economy stable. That is the political class. The political class uses dollar to move loot ever since the 1983 coup, when
naira notes changed overnight, with loot becoming worthless.
Okay.
So until we have a political class who are patriotic, no end in sight. Thank you. I think that really wraps it up. Thank you, ladies. Miri, I was not planning to come for your jugular. I needed to understand your business.
And I'm glad that you do now.
Before we go, ensure you follow us across all our social media handles. Thanks, Dee. And you can interact with us further, drop a comment, and most importantly, follow all our engagements on social media. Like, share, and invite your families and friends to watch and follow the conversation. I'm struggling to stay awake.
Yes, you are. Your eyes are so
If you
heavy.
missed our quotes for today, here it is again. It is illegal to price or denominate the cost of any product or services, visible or invincible. That's the part I like. In any foreign currency in Nigeria, and no business offer or acceptance should be consummated in naira in any currency other than in Nigeria in any currency other than naira. This was from the Central Bank of Nigeria. We'll see you guys. I hope I'll be awake tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Ciao.